Oh, diddly diddly damn. Season 12, episode 12 is out. Let's not waste any more time. And let's dive into the calamity of what happened in last night's episode.
Called the delivery company for your objects at some point.
Like for my possessions from the UK?
Yeah.
Why have they contacted you?
They've been contacting me.
What do you mean they've been contacting you?
I told you.
No, you didn't.
So he's being a little bit dramatic about it.
Okay, Catie,
Imagine you book a flight to another country. Then when you get to that country, you find out that your luggage isn't exactly with you when you land. That not only is it not with you, but that now you have to wait for them to ring you to let you know and give you a date of when you have to come back to the airport or wherever it is you need to go to get your luggage. And you've had to go set amount of days, weeks, maybe however long it's taken them to finally find and allocate you. But you've had to go and pretty much either buy extra clothes or you've had to maybe rewash the clothes that you have. Either way, you've had to survive without your clothes, but also most importantly, without also the accessories that you bought with you that you need, especially if you're going to the other country because you're planning on actually living there and you need some of these things. Now, of course, everything in life can be replaceable for the most part, but either way, you've been chasing them and chasing them and chasing them and chasing them. And this whole time you've been chasing them, the person that you want to marry didn't tell you.
I've been trying for weeks to work this out. Yeah. You've just not told me any of this right now. So can you just start again? It's
and they said, we'll send you a 4-hour block. And I said, what if the 4-hour block doesn't work? They said, call.
Imagine the whole time the person that you've moved forward is having a whole conversation with them pretty much in secret and isn't telling you, and then also trying to dictate when it's suitable for them to go pick it up as if like your opinion doesn't matter for your belongings. Okay.
Call back and pick a different day if it doesn't work. My fault they called me. You weren't there.
This level of importance to me, and the way you were talking about it is this level.
And then has the audacity to say it's not my fault that they called me and not you. They probably called you because when I arrived, your number was the only American number that we had available. I didn't have a number. So of course they're going to call you. But even if they did have my number and they rang you, which they would because you are actually the American residents here that I'm coming to visit, that I told them I'm coming to stay with you. I told them I'm going to be at your address, all that jazz. Either way though, because you know it's my belongings, you're supposed to do what? Oh yeah, keep me in the loop. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, when you are in a relationship with somebody and you now consider yourself a couple, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a freaking team. And clearly these two baboons are not a team.
Of importance to you.
You'd be open to it if we go to church and I introduce you to it?
Yes, open. I think agnosticism is by...
I called you one time because I was stressed. And I was like, okay, if Josh doesn't believe in God, will he go to hell and I'll be in heaven? Yeah.
The fact that she believes that she's got an opportunity, she's got a chance of actually going to heaven with the way she behaves is crazy. Now, of course, nobody knows what the criteria is for you to go to heaven. In the same conversation, nobody knows if the afterlife is even legit, is even a thing. But either way, though, whether you believe it or not, Catie believes it. So we're going to talk about it based on what she believes. Does she truly believe that the way she behaves is going to get her to heaven? In fact, not only that, but...
It's hard to know. I don't know what's in his soul and what God's looking for.
The fact that her parents as well, do they also believe that they've also hit this criteria to actually go to heaven? Because look at it this way, you have raised a child, a daughter who is bonkers. You raised her. So therefore, you are going to be judged on the way you raised your child and took no accountability for the way she is. But listen, folks, let's not get too much into this whole, religious talk XYZ. It's just, I'm sitting here flabbergasted thinking, hold on a minute. How have we gone from a conversation about this girl literally being an alcoholic who blames OCD to now all of a sudden we're talking about what? About going to heaven? I don't understand these peoples.
Into heaven, you need to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
But it's not is it just black and white? I don't think so, right?
I think.
Listen, everybody has their own beliefs, but even if you had to accept Jesus Christ as your savior, XYZ, and the end of the day, even if you do accept it, it doesn't change that you family here, you're all a bunch of very interesting people, and that's just me being polite. So you can accept him all you like, but it doesn't mean that he's gonna accept you. Everybody knows in life that you can accept someone, but it doesn't mean that that doesn't mean they have to accept you back. All right. Because they may have their reasons to say, nah, you're still not my kind of person. I can't have you around me for said reasons. More of the story is the whole family's talking a whole bunch of wackily, doggily, doobity-doo-loopity-doosh. There's no word for it, pretty much in a nutshell. But anyway, give me your thoughts, and now we're going to move on to the next one itself.
I don't know if I ever want kids.
But what if I tell you that I'm not sure if I want to have kids? I just don't know if I would be a good mom.
Why do you think so bad every time?
I went through when I was a kid. Like, I'm just scared that...
Oh, here we go. Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Another storyline based on what? Oh, now I don't want kids. So all of a sudden, you now want to tell him you don't want kids. You did not want to tell him this back when he was in Turkey. Back when you were deciding about him coming to America. You didn't want to tell him none of this. Now all of a sudden, yeah. You know what, I don't know if I want kids. And then also on top of that, I don't know if I want kids because I just don't know if I'm going to be a good parent because, well, what I've been through in my life. So I'm afraid to become like my mother, you see. But the way my mother was, I'm afraid that I'll be like that. Listen, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows there is no book that tells you on how to be a parent. End of the day, what happens, the baby comes and then all of a sudden, you wing it and you do the best you can. Some people do the best they can. Some people do a whole calamitous of a job. Katie's parents be one of those people, but hey, we won't talk about that one. Now let's talk about this. At the end of the day, you can come from one life where your life has been challenging. You've had the worst role models in your life. Your parents were absolute garbage. But then all of a sudden you become a parent. You could become the most amazing parent in the world. And then there's also vice versa where you can be just as trash as your parents, which to be fair is probably more common than the other one. But either way though, to judge us, but the fact that she is sitting there and she's saying to herself, I question me being a parent because I don't want to be like my mother, tells me that this woman right here would actually be a good parent. Why? Because she acknowledges how she was treated. So therefore, once she has a child, she's more than likely to look at herself, reflect on herself every single day that she looks after her child and says, you know what? I hope today I did a better job than mum did. You know what? Today I felt like I went a bit too far because I felt like it was my mum. I felt like I became a mum when I was talking to my child. So you know what? Let me do better for the next day. She has the elements already to actually make her to become a parent that's going to do her best. That's the irony. I've said this for a long time. In this world, people who choose to not have kids are more likely better suited to be parents. Why? Because you see, when you make a choice like myself that you don't want kids, because you understand the responsibility of what it is to be a parent. Meanwhile, there are many people in this world who say, oh, I want to be a parent. From the day I want to be a mummy, I want to be a daddy. And then the baby comes and then they're like, oh, wait, hold on a minute. This is harder than I expected. Oh, hold on a minute. I don't know if I can do this. All of a sudden you get people walking out on their kids, people doing all types of calamity. Now, of course, and nothing that I'm saying is a fact. This is just based on my opinion, right? I'm just saying that personally, when I look around and I have conversations with people like myself who don't want kids, the things that we say is crazy. And the one thing that and out of the many things that we all have in common for us people who choose to not want to have children, everybody that knows us always says, yeah, but you'd be a great father though. You'd be a great mother though. Just the way you carry yourself, just the way you go about things. And it's funny because you see a lot of times, and I see a lot of people who are parents, I look at them and I'm like, why the hell did you become a parent? All you do is, let me leave it there. Again, just an opinion. More of the story is, Mallorie has got this all the way wrong. But I understand the frustrations. I do believe she does want to be a parent. She's just nervous about it because of her upbringing, which is completely normal. But to be honest with you, I can see her being a good parent. But anyway, either way, just an opinion. But I will say this though, as I always like to do, play devil's advocate. But at the same time, there are people who don't want to be parents, and if they were to become parents, they could still be trash parents, because there's certain people that just know that having a baby is their worst enemy, and therefore they know they had a baby, they'll treat you like this. Why are you here? I didn't want you. Like, so there is still that part. I'm not going to neglect that. And then there's still parents that generally And then there's two people that generally want to be a parent, and they are the most amazing mother effers in this world. They're like, you're my everything. So really and truly, everything plays hand in hand. All I'm trying to say is that from my life experience, this is my opinion. But at the same time, though, for me, on my judgment of Mallory, Mallory,
I won't. I don't know how to be a mom.
I think your mind changed. Maybe 2 years.
But what if my mind doesn't change in 2 years?
You will see, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, please never marry someone or be in a relationship with somebody that gives you a maybe on whether they want kids or not if you know that you want kids, because one of the worst things in this world is to try and convince someone to have kids, because you're trying to convince someone to have kids, but then when they have the kid, what if they say, well, I only had this child because of you? Then what? Only have kids with somebody that wants kids too, and most importantly, shares the same values that you share when it comes to being, well, when you plan on being a parent. Also very, very key. With that being said, though, let's move on to the next one.
I just think that you're expecting me to be the same level of affection that you are, and I'm just like not naturally as affectionate as the mental headspace to be very.
Says the dumbest person in the room right now. Do you know what it is? I'm going to tell you this now, folks. I'm going to tell you this now. Opinion. A life experience. I am somebody for a long time who said, I'm not an affectionate person. Don't like it, don't do it. Nah, ain't my thing. Cuddles, nah, I don't want to do it. Nah, ain't my thing. But you know what I realized? My perception at the time was based on the person that I was with. I just wasn't in a space where I felt comfortable or wanted to be affectionate with that person because of the space that they had created. It made me feel like, But then later on, once I encounter another person, not necessarily the next person, but someone that like kind of the right person, whatever, right? I was like, you know what? Being affectionate is actually cool. I actually like this. It makes me feel nice. Makes me feel soft. Some may say it makes me feel a little bit feminine. Listen, I admit it, I don't give a damn. I felt, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm kind of missing it right now. Hey, does anyone want to be my affectionate buddy right now? No, listen, everybody wants to be affectionate. Everybody wants to receive affection. It's just that we have to come across the right person for affection. Oh my days. You piece of shit. I need to pause this video real quick. I'll be back. So yeah, forgot what I was at. Oh yeah, that's the affection. At the end of the day, that is BS. That is absolute BS.
Very loving right now. I just feel like our relationship has a completely different dynamic. I feel like the way that I was with you when I come to visit you in your country, there's nothing to talk about. I feel like there's no stimulation.
This is not the point.
She talks about how there's nothing to talk about, right? But the maddest thing about it is this, is that has she actually ever tried to have a conversation with him that's just a normal conversation? It feels as if for her, ever since she's born to America, and because he's not a part of this rich club, fancy club, it means that now he doesn't stimulate her. So the question is, what have they been talking about this whole time they've been together? That's what I want to know. Marissa is full of.
The point. I get what you want, and you complain because I give you what you want.
But you didn't, because you said you were going to give me space, and then when you gave me space and I didn't reach out to you, you got mad about it.
Damn, I didn't realize we was in high school.
Because you don't be like this the whole time with me.
Have I not been?
Not in the level that you have right now.
Look, I want me to hug you and kiss you, but right now I feel really anxious about it and I feel very unsure.
If I was Edward, man, listen, what are you waiting for, man? Just get on the plane back home, bro. Just get on the plane back home. Like this, Marissa is not worth this calamity of nonsense.
And our relationship has changed.
Questions. What kind of questions?
Point, I'm questioning compatibility and if we are even the right fit to get married.
To be honest with you, do you know what? Marissa reminds me of one of these women, right? Or one of these people, to be fair. Let me not put gender. She reminds me of one of these people that she will have someone in her life that's actually good for her. But because he's not at a certain status, she'll kick him to the curb. Then she'll end up getting with somebody who's at the status that she looks for, but they never actually be happy with that person because that person doesn't actually stimulate her the same way someone like Edward does. He definitely stimulates her. She's just allowing him not to stimulate her because she's too busy concerned about the profile of what of who he is. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
I can't believe that she had the balls to say that to me. To our country, to hemophilia. And now she say this bull now. She's never seen it before, and I gotta be in this process.
That's why you should skedaddle. Don't wait around anymore. Skedaddle. Leave her behind. Useless behavior. You know, treat you one way in your country, but now just treats you a different way in her country. This is some Angela Dean type behavior. You know Angela Dean, you know what I mean? Like, she was like, once I get Michael to America, and then what happened? A woman pretty much locked him up in the house and kept him as a prisoner. You know what I mean? Slaved him to be cleaning the house and looking after the grandkids and all that kind of jazz. So yeah. Sorry, listen, folks. Me and flies, we're not friends. I don't like flies. But let's move on to the next one.
I get you. I know that she's a good person and she have a good heart. And I think before we meet each life, and I think now I complete her and she completes me.
Woo! I won't lie to you folks, I have no words for this. I need to know your thoughts. I need to know your thoughts on Mido proposing to Debby. I need to know your thoughts on him giving her a hard time last episode, all to build up to the fact that he wanted to wind her up to then propose to her, and then has the audacity to tell us that he was missing something, she was missing something, and now they both complete each other. And that is why he decided to propose to her. I want to know your thoughts on this one, because I'm struggling to regulate that nonsense. I need to know from you, lovely folks. But with that being said, though, we're going to get into the last one. This one being Ashia Maxwell.
Married. So what if you apply for that and they denied the visa?
I mean, anytime you apply, it can be denied. Be denied again. I feel like we're gonna have stronger evidence. Plus, they will have the marriage certificate, and so they'll know for a fact that this is legitimate.
Listen, just because you can have a marriage certificate doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be proof for them to say, okay, cool, Maxwell can now be in the USA. We've seen it time and time again with certain people from African countries, well, to be more specific, from Nigeria, and even Ghana for that matter. But Matilda, on the other hand, does anybody know where Matilda's at right now? Now set up a GoFundMe account, 2-3 years ago, however long it was. And we have not had an update since that GoFundMe account was set up. And he got all the money that he desired from it. We have never had an update since then about where Matilda is. What is the process so far with the visa application? Do you see what I'm saying? So that one's a bit of a sticky one because now we don't know if people were scammed. But with Michael and Angela on the other hand, we knew that one took 7 years. That took its time. You know what I mean? And it's been a thing for some people as well, give or take. But either way, though, the moral of the situation here is that the marriage thing, good luck.
I don't even think Americans work harder than Nigerians.
How much money you have in your bank account?
Pay me and you. You all have the machines, right? So you use the machine to work to make it easy for you, my hands to work under any, harsh situation. So I don't even think Americans work harder than Nigerians. Yes. You can ask me what I do for a living. It's normal. But you asking me how much money I have in my bank account, that's a dumb question.
Honestly, it is actually a very dumb question, to be fair. To judge him on his bank account is ridiculous. Because Aisha's friend made this point about, American women have American men that work hard. Then he was like, how much is in your bank account? You know what the maddest thing is? Some of the hardest working jobs in this world have the lowest pay going. Lowest pay going. So to say that, American like a man that works hard is ridiculous. What you mean is, maybe American women like a man that earns a good salary. There's a big difference between a man that earns a big salary compared to a man that works hard. Same as even a woman that has a good salary compared to a woman that works hard. But it depends on the profession. Okay? Like, listen, a little cheeky example. From my experience of working in the school system, Teaching assistants, I've come across some teaching assistants. No, I've come across more teaching assistants that work more harder than teachers. But teachers are the ones that are still getting that big dollar. And then that's not to shade the teachers. No. Because they went up with they got their qualifications. They put themselves in that position, which is fantastic. I'm just saying that how hard you work does not define the money in your bank account. You see what I'm saying? That's why people say work smart, not harder. But either way, though, Maxwell made a very, very good point. The jobs that I do here, I do by hand. The jobs that you do there, you do by machine. So my friend, trust me, physically, I work harder than you. Financially, yeah, you may have more money than me, but don't be judging me. Okay, that's just due to one, most importantly, the difference in your countries, for starters. You know, you work somewhere that pays better than where I am. You could have the same job in 2 different countries, but my pay may not be as good as yours. But yeah, either way though, I like the way Maxwell put him on game, shot him down. You know when people smoke and then they put it on the floor and then, hey, you literally mofos. How dare you smoke for starters and kill your body, and then have the audacity to throw it on the floor and then put your foot on and spin it over. You people are disgusting. But more of the story though, that's exactly what Maxwell just did with this buddy over here. I like it. I loved it. Let's continue.
Thing that I know about Nigerians, we get a lot of robocalls, we get a lot of scamming going on, and it's basically from Africa.
Talking about scam is not to my family. He's trying to be skeptical. He's trying to have our fears.
And then out of all responses, he then starts to bring in, let's talk about scamming instead. Because he knew that Maxwell wiped the floor of him. Took him out. Home run. Anyway, that is that for this week, folks. You know what I mean? To be fair, this episode was a bit, but hopefully next episode will be better. But to be fair, tomorrow we have got The Last Resort, which to be fair, right now has been so much, in my opinion, has been a better watch than the flagship show of 90 Day Fiance. But hey, we shall see for that one tomorrow. But with that being said, thanks so much for your time, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Peace.